Last week, a dear friend who reached out to me for help with her child asked me, "How long have you known about this?" 14 years, I replied, then silence on the other end. The this she is referring to is a supplement designed for ADHD, autism, depression, anxiety, bipolar, and more called Daily Essential Nutrients. I felt ashamed. 14 years. It seemed like I'd kept the secret to myself for too long. However, this last year, after taking a long dream of trip to New Zealand, I decided that I would overcome my shyness and speak out. I observed there amongst the Maori and recently in other countries like Korea and Japan that autism, ADHD, mental health is still a really shameful taboo subject. How can someone get help if they're afraid to talk about it and reach out? So I want to talk about it. When you have autism, ADHD, sensory issues, anxiety yourself, and all 5 of your kids to a greater or lesser degree, when the world has made fun, ridiculed, misunderstood, and persecuted what they did not understand, you tend to not want to open yourself up, especially nowadays on social media. But it must be true what they say, that as you get older, you stop caring about what other people think. And what I am thinking about is literally the millions struggling with mental health and neurodivergent issues that could have relief in something other than drugs and their nasty side effects. The secret I am now sharing is that many, not all, mental health challenges stem from severe nutritional deficiencies in a wide spectrum. So just hitting it with 1 or 2 supplements is not going to fix the problem. The formulator of Daily Essential Nutrients, David Hardy, once explained, it's like a dam with many cracks and little holes, and they're leaking water. And we may listen to reports on this or that supplement, and we go and we plug up maybe 1 or 2 holes in the dam, and we might even feel a little better, but not all the issues are gone. It's only when we plug up every crack that we stop the leaking and get back to the optimal levels we should be at. It's not just about feeling good or better, but being able to also handle stress and other challenges in life. Mental illness has been with us since the days of Hippocrates, who advocated rest, diet, massage, and other holistic approaches. Unfortunately, we lost that, and during the Dark Ages, mental illness was treated most cruelly, and over a few hundred years, close to 500,000, mostly women, were killed as witches, or they were thought of being possessed. Are those Dark Ages still with us? To a certain extent, yes. Since before the 1940s and even to our present day, we have scientific proof of micronutrients or vitamins and minerals making huge strides and even reversing mental health challenges. For those with genetic mutations, some issues cannot be reversed, but the extra supplementation makes it easier to cope and function in the world. In 1944, for almost a year, Ansel Keys did the famous starvation experiment on healthy young men. They wanted to see what the effects were on the body and mind if food were ever in short supply. Now, remember the 1940s, the food nutrition value was a lot higher than today, and fast food or processed food like we know today wasn't invented yet. They saw results like having trouble focusing, depression, anxiety, hysteria, social withdrawal, self-harming, severe emotional distress, eating disorders. Any of that sound familiar? Can you begin to see the correlation between nutritional deficiencies and mental health? In another video, I'm going to uncover why our diets and the chemicals in them have sucked us dry of important micronutrients. But why don't you know any of this? This link between nutrition and mental health, or even the clinical level supplement Daily Essential Nutrients that was researched over 20 years for just this problem. First of all, we're going to call it the Den for short, can only be sold through the company or trained healthcare professionals. So usually only those patients that are in therapy with these healthcare professionals that use it know about the Den. The number of psychiatrists, neuropsychologists, and others that encourage a non-drug approach across the planet is still very few in numbers. I am honored to be trained and given the opportunity to educate the public on this. Next, it cannot be simply sold on the store shelf without any monitoring or support. When people are on medications and they start taking the den, they will notice that their bodies will begin to let them know through the increased side effects of their drugs that it's time to wean off the drugs or peel off that Band-Aid. Your brain is getting the foundational tools it needs to make its own dopamine and serotonin. Better connections in the brain are being made. Mutated genetic enzyme pathways are getting that extra boost or higher levels of vitamins and minerals needed for those pathways to work better. But again, why don't you know about micronutrients and mental health? The company and the independent doctors doing research and their work over the years has been blocked or attacked. Even the formulator, David Hardy, and his former co-founder of the original True Hope companies, Tony Stephan, over 15 years ago were taken to court by Health Canada. Government entities tried to shut them down. Here's one quote from the trial by Harvard psychiatrist and psychopharmacologist Dr. Charles Popper. Dr. Popper testified that if the micronutrient treatment became unavailable, there would be aggressive behavior, assaults, hospitalizations, incarcerations, and suicides. He testified that his patients would have to be returned to medications which lacked stability and had negative side effects. Overall, Dr. Popper testified he would not be able to manage his practice at the level to which it had grown if he would have to refer patients away from his practice. Now, not only did they win their case, but the courts protected them with the Good Samaritan law and said if they ever stopped making the product, they'd be held criminally liable. So they were protected. During this time, at a national conference in December 2000, Dr. Bonnie Kaplan, a research psychologist at the University of Calgary, presented a study of 10 adults with bipolar disorder who got a lot better after being on the micronutrients. What happened to her? Dr. Kaplan next was ridiculed by the media and led to most psychiatrists to stay away from the formula. This lasted for years. She published rigorous studies in the Journal of Clinical Psychology and Adolescent Psychopharmacology, proving that nutrition was reversing a variety of mental health challenges. And not one psychiatrist in Bonnie's city of over 1 million would refer patients. Even the bipolar disorder clinic in the city's largest teaching hospital told patients to stay away. This information right now I'm sharing is coming from Dr. Kaplan and Dr. Ruckledge's book, The Better Brain. Dr. Ruckledge in 2009 got the same attacks when she published and tried to get the word out that nutrition, not drugs, was proving way more effective. They were even accused of getting a kickback from the nutrition companies. Dr. Kaplan and Dr. Ruckledge to this day perform all their research objectively and not backed by any company for ethical reasons. Meaning money for funding is very challenging for them because you don't have access to big pharma's deep pockets or big nutritional companies who, by the way, would not allow independent scientists to actually test their products. Dr. Kaplan said that in the 1960s and 70s, no scientist with integrity would ever take money from any company. Now, pharmaceutical companies are the major financial driver of all clinical trials in mental health. The mental health world does not celebrate multi-nutrition companies finding answers, even when scientific proof is staring him in the face since the 1940s. Education on nutrition for our doctors in medical school is still inadequate. They're being educated directly and indirectly through pharmaceutical companies. So who benefits from misleading the public? Pharmaceutical companies and even the health alternative companies that promote only one vitamin or mineral. They're the ones that benefit. You cannot boost extra supplementation with just 1 or 2 vitamins or minerals without negatively impacting another nutrient. They work in balance together. And for mental health issues and the levels needed, you would spend hundreds of dollars, take handfuls and handfuls of pills, and still not understand the crucial ratios needed, or be taking especially minerals in a chelated form like found in daily essential nutrients that can actually cross the blood-brain barrier. Both the public and our mental health experts need to be educated that nutrition is the foundation for brain health, and changes can be seen and felt right away. If you want to learn more about the research that's going on, you can go to Dr. Kaplan's site, bonniejkaplan.com. I also highly recommend reading the book, The Better Brain, by both Dr. Kaplan and Dr. Ruckledge, who are the driving force and pioneers in this field. Today, there are over 30 independent studies showing this micronutrient has better results than medication with no side effects. It's not only the most widely studied supplement on the planet, but you'll actually find it in chapter 6 of a prominent psychiatric textbook from the American Psychiatric Association. In the book, they said that the broad spectrum micronutrient is a physiologically sensible approach to treating mood and mental health disorders. Oh my goodness. Please like my channel to get updates. You can go to restorethebrain.com to learn more or to get daily essential nutrients. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me and set up a free video consult session. Thank you.